Hello and welcome to I Said What I Said podcast with Napoleon Sylvester. And today I'm going to be talking about something very interesting that most young people deal with, and that is overthinking. Overthinking is so random with a lot of persons. Some people even flex with it. They tell you, look, I'm an overthinker. Even though it's a two-sided sword, I'm going to help you deal with it by talking about it. In case you're someone who wants to get through it, you don't want to deal with constantly overthinking and ruining yourself and the situation. So first thing on the list is, if you find out that most often than not, that when something happens, you think about it so much that either makes you see all the worst and negative things that could happen, or it makes you afraid, or it makes you reject or run away from the thing or disappear. Whatever happens when you think that much is a result of overthinking. Your excessive amount of time obsessing over the outcome or the present situation. That is what overthinking looks like. So if that is you have a situation with a person you're getting to like, and suddenly you're overthinking everything you do, almost so that you keep asking a question, are you for real? Do you actually mean what you're saying? You're constantly thinking in your mind, are they for real? Are they playing? Every single thing is something to think about and question. Your curiosity is everywhere at every time. You don't even let anything slide for what it truly is. You're constantly questioning the authenticity. You have to pause. We have to put a pause on that right now. Maybe it's school, maybe it's business. You're thinking, is this going to work? Is a client going to call you? You're constantly thinking the worst case scenarios. That's what you're thinking. One of the things you have to do to help deal with this is write down every single thing, every single line of thoughts. You could type it however you want to do it. Just make sure you pin them down and ask yourself, why am I making room for this? So let me give you a simple example. So I'll use business and then I'll use relationship. So you have a girl you like, or a guy that you like, and everything is going well, so smooth. But because maybe somebody told you something about him, or there's something you noticed, you start thinking, what if they're playing with me? What if this is all a show? This is all to play me. They're just trying to get me, and that's it. Nothing more. You're not genuine. This girl is after my money. This guy is after my body. How do you deal with overthinking that? Write down why you think so. Is there something you saw in him or her? What they said? Write it down. I'm basically trying to make you tackle down the problem, right? Tackle down the problem. When you do this, it is easier to get over a situation without overthinking them, because now you have your clear, vivid answers. For most people who have not got so bad in this overthinking thing, this really helps. The second thing is to convince yourself that things are not as bad as you're always seeing them. Anytime you find yourself overthinking, catch yourself and tell yourself. You could even legit laugh at yourself in self-awareness and say, I know I'm an overthinker, and this is not as bad as it is. So once you do that, your brain begins to reset. Over time, the brain is going to get used to the fact that, oh, look, I've been calling you out on the fact that you're always over exaggerating things. So stop. Your brain is going to start quieting down on it. Trust me. So every time you do that, don't just start thinking. Everything your mind thinks is not true. The fact that you're thinking doesn't mean it's true. So once you do that, once that comes to mind, just tell yourself, and so it's my thing. So I don't really dig into it that much. See, these two things I tell you, they are a life changer. And sometimes to talk about it loudly, talk to yourself about it, speak to yourself, or talk to an expert or a friend. Most of the times, if it's a very confidential information, talk to an expert like I am, or talk to somebody who you respect their opinion. It is an easier way to deal with overthinking too. So these three things I'm going to leave you with. Write down your thoughts, the things you're thinking about, write them down on paper. Convince yourself that, no, I'm just overthinking. This is me just blowing this sort of proportion. And the third thing, talk to someone, share it with someone. It could be on a show, on a comment section, an expert like me. Just talk about it. Somehow, when you bring it out there in public, something that looks so big suddenly loses that weight. So if you do this, you're going to help yourself get out of that constant exaggeration of situation into a negative frame or spectrum. So yes, and leave a comment if this was very helpful. I would really appreciate that you do. I try to keep my podcast short so that people get what they want and use it as ASAP. This is Napoleon again. Thank you for joining my podcast. Share to your friends, people who you think needs this, and follow my channel for more. Thank you.